Oh, howdy, folks. Just spur of the moment, free for all. I'm going to be up for just a little while longer, so I figured, what the hey? Just do a little spur of the moment, free for all. See if I can get my windows set up here. Hey, Hard Target, how you doing this evening? I just firing up a spur of the moment, free for all. Do the thing that nobody ever tells me that I should do. And there we go. That's good to hear, Gil. Good to hear. Mid-range, there's a link in the YouTube side, gun channel side, and in your email. I don't really have that much going on. I went out to the range today. Spent some rounds through the newly returned P320. That thing was rocking, absolutely rocking. The trigger on it was absolutely fantastic, better than I remember it. Put a bunch of rounds through the black rifle today. She's running like a well-oiled machine. Didn't give me one hiccup, other than the one thing that I do have a problem with is, again, Trinity Force tactical crap. I don't know. I'm having a little trouble with it because I could not get this sight to go down. I can't get it to go down any further, and it's got to go down about one more MOA. It's still a little off. I still got to get her to go down, and she is just not going down any further. So, oh, hey, Pants. Pants is in the room. There's a link on the gun channel side, link on the YouTube side. Just a spur of the moment, free for all, guys. You can all jump in if you want. Oh, sure. Midnight Range just got home. He's all, oh, here's my email. Send me a link. Get me to start up a chat. Make me stand here like a monkey getting it on with a football. Well, I'm not standing here. Pulled pork. Man, that sounds good. I had like taco pizza for dinner, man. I wasn't impressed, but I was over on Match Chat and they were talking about Tex-Mex, and the only thing that delivered that I can even get somewhere near close to Mexican was taco pizza. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Oh, it's not, is it? Well, let me see if I can get me a... Well, Midnight Range, I have seen you before, sir, and in the shower. No, I don't want to lose my live streaming capabilities. Other than that, if it was a private chat, maybe. But thanks anyway, there, Midnight. I appreciate the offer, but no thanks. Yeah, looks like you've been having Gil. Looks like you've been having some projects going on and getting some stuff taken care of at the old abode. Definitely looking like stuff that I wouldn't want to do, called work. I don't really care for all that.
Yep. Sure have. I'm glad it's done. Yeah, I didn't do it. I had a couple of guys do a 2-man crew.
Is that echo on your side or on mine?
Yeah, that's me. I gotta get up my earbuds. I'll be back.
Just in case that link didn't work, and I don't know why it wouldn't have. Just in case it didn't work, I'd go ahead and dump her in there. Just spurred a moment, free for all, guys. Yeah, we oh, hey, Gary, they're seeing you walk in there. Yeah, that's Gil over at Hard Target. Join the room. He's getting his headset so we can eliminate the echo thing going on there. Yeah, what are you, stealthy or something there, Gary? I just barely seen you creep in there. So what's the deal there, mid range? Are you getting ready for a shower, or are you just trolling? Stealthy like the wind, like the footsteps of a Navy SEAL. I'd love to hear that commercial just one more time. He's just naked and making up excuses why. Oh, well. Usually that just entails Patron in my world, but yeah, we don't ever quite know about them chefs. They're strange characters, man. Strange characters.
Yeah, that echo and feedback delayed is not me now, Alan.
Oh, you're clean. You're clean. Hopefully you're not getting any on my end, but
yeah, everything's a delay. I'm hearing you repeat everything twice, so somebody else has got a mic open somewhere.
it's me then here. And change my setup a little bit here. Yeah. Yeah, I went out and put quite a number of rounds down range today. But when I got to my pistol range there, Gil, and I'm telling you, I wish I already had the money for some targets because I've got basically I put pallets and I stuff them in the ground. I bury them partially in the ground, and I just have flat cardboard targets to work with. And I show up, and I think all the deer that have been out on the property have decided that these things make good scratching posts. And then busted every pallet that I've got standing upright right out of the ground. I not busted the ground, busted the pallets.
Wow, that's something.
Oh man, I wish I would have already had some steel hung up.
Yeah. Things been slow anyway. So the heavy lifting is killing me. So I'm a little glad it's slow, but I like it to be steady anyway.
Yeah, it seems like you've had a lot going on. You've turned out a number of videos over the past few days.
Yeah, that's me just watching a crew repair some things on my house. Just a little bit at a time, whatever money we can afford to do. So we're done for the winter. We got some major projects coming up next summer.
Is it just me, or did you revamp your logo?
No, I just have my camera shut off because I'm just like in between naps here. I'm getting ready to go back to bed.
Yeah, I should probably do that at some point in my life.
Yeah. Well, with this shoulder stuff going on, I can't sleep more than an hour or two at a time. The pain just wakes me up. So I get up, get on YouTube, mess around, watch TV, and then I get tired, go back to bed.
Yeah, I used to beg for sleep when I had kids, but my kids were always at my house along with all of their friends and all their friends' friends. My house was the house that all the neighborhood kids came to. And that was fine with me because the fact of the matter is I knew exactly where my kids were and what my kids were doing. Um, all the other parents knew exactly where their kids were at. They knew who they were with and who was at the house they were at. And so parents were good with it. And I had two kids of my own, but there'd be times on a regular basis I'd have six kids all week, and then I'd have like 6, 8, 10 kids staying the night over the weekends. And so there was times where I was just begging for sleep. Nowadays I'm lucky if I can get 4 hours of sleep a day or a night. And I got the time in the world to do it if I'm not working, but
Yeah. It was the same at my house because we had the woods back here. The land. This was been the family farm for my better half. So all the kids would come here because they, of course, just had their little tiny yard, nothing to do, bored back here. They could drive cars around and stuff. I used to get wrecks that barely ran and let them drive them out the woods and stuff. So it was like a teenage paradise back here for them.
that sounds phenomenal.
Oh yeah, people used to donate cars, and of course when they're out there jumping through the woods on all the trails and stuff back there, the first thing that goes is the exhaust system rips off, and the second thing is the brakes, and then it gets real interesting. One of these days,
Oh
I'll
man,
see if I can.
it sounds like I wish I would have grown up at your house.
Oh yeah, there's still a couple of wrecks out there. There's the Soto back there from the '60s that's stuck out there, but everybody stripped it and shot it all to hell. Now there's not much left of it. But people used to donate cars, and they'd have issues like transmission was going or something. The kids would get a couple, 3 weeks out of them before they killed them. They'd get all pissed off if they started ramming into each other if I had multiple cars back there, because it would be like then they only had one car to share. I used to like to see the little arguments go on.
Oh, that's classic. They'd actually regulate themselves. That's phenomenal.
Oh yeah, don't kill my car, because it'd be like 6, 7 kids all waiting their turn at the wheel, and only one car sometimes 2, sometimes 3. It depends whatever we had here. It's a rite of passage when you live in the country.
Well, yeah, and I started teaching my son to drive off road.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, it was if you knew how to drive off road, you could drive on road no problem. And so once he actually got on the pavement, he's like, "Wow, this is completely different. This is easy compared to that."
Oh yeah.
Yep. All you got to do is stay between the lines and watch the lights and signs.
Oh yeah. Never had a kid that grew up around my house fail their driver's test. That's for sure. They all got it first crack. They get mad when I went out there and went a little crazy on them because I'd always end up killing them,
Could just beat the life out of them cars.
Yeah, the things would overheat and seize up and all kinds of crap, and then you just scrap it and get another one.
That would be me. That'd be me. You might as well just take the gas pedal out and put it on a toggle switch.
Yeah. It was crazy. My brother-in-law used to do things like hang on the hood and stuff while we're doing like 50-mile-an-hour donuts out in the cow pasture. So they were really big on one-upping each other. You know what I mean? And there was times when I'd get out of the car and I'd swear I'd never get in it with them driving again. Just unbelievable. How about taking a Blazer through the woods at like 40 miles an hour and just telling them you're not going to make it between these 2 trees? You can see it's too narrow, and they just ram the gas and try and make it. And you push the Blazer right between the trees all the way up to the last quarter panel of it, and the rear windows blow out and everything because it's all pushed in. And that would sit there for weeks at a time till it got towed out or cut the tree down, Yeah, just some of the fun we used to have here when we were younger.
But I mean, that is the spice of life, though. I mean, you can't. Yeah, nowadays everybody's so worried about every little tiny thing. Just like you haven't lived until you've done some crazy stuff like this. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep. Same thing when they were building the highways connections around here when I was younger in the late 60s, early 70s. We used to ride little homemade mini bikes and go-karts there when they were paving it finally. And the town cops, the city cops would just come down there, clock us, and tell us how fast we were going. They'd hang out and make sure we were all right and not vandalizing any of the construction markers or any of the equipment. Once they saw we just wanted to ride, that was cool. They'd stop by every day after school.
Yeah, just come by and just make sure you weren't tearing anything up you weren't supposed to be.
Yep. It's a different world nowadays, Nowadays, they'd be making us wear seatbelts and put helmets on and all kinds of crazy-ass shit. I feel bad. I feel bad for these kids, Alan. They don't have a clue. They're all stuck on doing the thumb shuffle on their phones or playing Nintendo. When we went out during some vacation or weekend when we were kids, You left the house by 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, and the only time you came home is when you were starving or the light went out.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, it was pretty close to that way. I was right borderline of that. I mean, just the half a generation behind me couldn't do that anymore.
Yeah.
But I was one of those kids. I was a latchkey kid too, but I was one of those kids. You'd be out the door by 7 o'clock, and if that door kept opening and closing, the parents would get pissed. They just want you to go ahead and leave. When you want to come back and get some lunch, come back and get some lunch. But if anything, just come back, stick your head in the door, and say, "I'm good. I'm going over here." All right, and they'd shut the door, and we'd be gone until it was dark.
Yep, absolutely. Never go in the house to bother anybody. You drank water from the garden hose and pissed in the trees out back. You just didn't come in until you absolutely had to. You know, that was the good.
Well, it was the easiest way to get out of chores.
Yeah. Well, you did your chores first, and your parents would yell at your friends if you were really their friend. You'd help them so they could hurry up and go play with you. It was like the Tom Sawyer effect, and the lawn got mowed and things got raked and things were done and put away, and then you just had at it the rest of the day, and you made sure you didn't go back in case you didn't do a good enough job.
Yeah, yep, that's what I mean by getting out of chores. Because if you were hanging around the house, they'd find something for you to do.
Oh, damn right. You sure weren't going to sit on your ass in front of a TV screen like nowadays, that's for sure. Only had two channels anyway.
Well, yeah, and if you wanted to actually see the second channel, you had to stand up next to the TV set and hold the antenna.
Yeah, that and you were the remote control for dad. You'd stand by the
Well, that's
TV and
why I
keep
think my dad
switching.
had me, is so that I could change channels on the TV. I became obsolete. He was done with me.
Absolutely. It sounds funny, but think of the things we have lived through in our lifetimes. You know what I mean? Like cell phones. I remember my first cell phone when I was still doing coast to coast, lower 48 states trucking. My first cell phone was about as big as those old black Quonset hut shaped lunch boxes, weighed about 10 pounds and only held a charge for 22 seconds. We've lived
Oh
through.
yeah, I kid you not. I kid you not. I had a bag about this big,
Oh, yeah.
and when I first started driving truck, that's what the guy had in his truck, was a bag like this, and inside of it was a satellite phone,
Yep.
and that cost a dang fortune to run.
Oh, yeah.
And if you were on it more than 2 minutes, he was pissed.
Oh, yeah.
Because it cost a fortune.
Not only that, but when they first came out, you couldn't really communicate because you had to say over. You had to wait for the other guy to complete his transmission before you could transmit too. I remember all that. We didn't have any of this technology we got. If you couldn't read a freaking map, you would be out of a job because you'd never find your way to where you got to go.
Yep, got that right.
Yep.
Got that right. You're going to be SOL for sure.
Oh yeah, and if you were broke down on the side of the road or something, in some areas of the country, it might be a day and a half, 2 days before a motorist stopped. Like up in the Dakotas and stuff, it'd take so long, like 8, 9 hours before a car would pass coming the other way or going your way, that you'd actually be excited to see another human being. I remember them days well. Oh boy.
Yeah, I look forward to them days where I don't have to see another human being.
Yeah, I'm getting closer. I'm getting real close now. But anyway, I'm going to be headed to bed, Alan. I just want to pop in there and say hello. I'm glad you got your rifle straightened out. I couldn't believe them piece of shit parts came apart like that. So anyway.
Yeah, and it just blew me away. I gave the company every chance in the book. I gave them plenty of time. I kept communicating with them. I gave them every chance in the book.
Yeah.
But You know, that's how I'm going to be on my channel. If I got a problem with your company, I'm going to give you your chances.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to rip you a new one.
Well, I'll tell you, it's been my experience in doing honest reviews. I haven't done a whole hell of a lot, but I've done a few, and um, you get more shit from the people watching your video than you ever will from a company. A company won't say nothing to you. They'll either make it right or they'll just ignore you. But your viewers will be the ones defending a product that's just absolute garbage, you know?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that pretty much I got nobody standing up for them.
Yeah.
Everybody was just like, screw them.
Yeah, well, you'll see when you do like things that are like semi-popular with a crew. You know, you got to understand, especially in the gun community, you got a lot of people that love guns. A lot of people wish they could carry and really use their equipment, but the reality is their jobs won't let them, or laws in their state or town won't let them, and they just or they're not ready to for the responsibility or the cumbersome weight on them. You know, about 90% of everybody you see on YouTube really doesn't religiously carry every day. So when they review a product and then all the other people that are just new to it start chiming in, they really believe this product's good, and then you have it, it's a piece of shit and folds in 24 hours, and you say so, and everybody's all butthurt. Sort of like the Glock 1911 controversy, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Don't say anything about bad about Glocks. The Glock
Yeah.
tards come out of the woodwork.
Yeah, yeah. Even though I personally have videos showing the fails up there, you know. Oh, that can't be. That can't be. Well, buddy, I'm not photoshopping what's happening, you know what I mean? It's a shitbag deal and that's it. But anyway, Alan, I'm gonna jump out of here and try and get a few hours sleep. You guys have a good night. I see you got lots of good company with you now.
All righty, Gil. Thanks for jumping in, man. Always good to hear you.
All right. We'll see all you guys later. Have fun and be real.
That's one good man there. Good man. How's it going there, guys?
All right.
I'm just here to take up space.
I was actually just making sure. Hopefully, I was just really hoping that you weren't still naked and wet.
Oh, well, just a little bit.
I
Being a
guess
little naked is like
Blue
being a
jumped in.
little
Heard me
naked is
say
like
that. and
being
said, oh, I'm in the wrong place.
It's the wrong shit.
peace. See ya.
Keep that camera off.
It's been real. Being kind of naked is like being kind of pregnant. It's an impossibility.
Yeah. I know.
Dad, I'm kind of
Yeah,
pregnant.
I
Oh,
can
yeah?
understand the feeling of just taking up space. I've been in marriages like that.
Yeah. Every marriage is like that, isn't it? So where the hell's everybody at?
Oh man, everybody's all tuckered out. They
Bunch of
had
bitches.
NEA, and then they had Wanky, and
Yeah.
then Clover did After Hours, and everybody's all rode hard, put away wet.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
want to
yeah. I know.
save their energy for the weekend.
I know. I know. Goddamn late night chatters can't hang anymore.
Yeah, only real men can do this.
Did you post this over on gun channels?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, link is in gun channels. I'll throw it back in over there. Yeah, it's over there as well. I don't suspect too many people to jump in, but
Nah. Not yeah, it's a full day, man. Thursdays can be full with those three. Tuesdays can be too.
well, I started doing a show with the Crazy Scotsman,
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
the only time that we could actually get together is at the same time Matt's on. So it kind of sucks. I know I'm not going to take away anybody from Matt's chat. I'm definitely not stepping on NEA's toes. Um, but then again, I also miss Matt's chat. But the
Yeah,
crazy
yeah.
Scotsman and myself are going to be going back and forth, trading weekends, doing that. This coming Monday is going to be on mine.
Oh, you guys are doing it Monday. I remembered you said something about it, but I couldn't remember what day it was. So it's Monday, what, Monday night, Monday evening.
Yeah, Monday evening. It's actually 9 Eastern.
Yeah.
So it's still doing his game.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I didn't even think about it because when I first started on doing on Sundays, I was like, oh, that'll be great. I'll just piggyback on Yankee. I'll throw it in the chat a couple times and then I'll open one up like, right after Yankee. And then I realized a couple weeks ago, I was like, holy shit, that's The Walking Dead. So I sort of shot myself in the foot there a little bit. So I pushed
yeah,
it
that
back an
timing's
hour.
bound to be a little rough.
Yeah. So I pushed it back an hour. Well, it's been pretty good. It's been pretty good lately. The last couple weeks have been really good. I've been happy with it. Fucking Sunday, I went for over 3 hours.
Yeah.
It was a freaking marathon. I
Well,
don't know, man.
most of my free for alls have ended up being 3-hour tours.
Yeah, yeah. I've got two of them that are 3 hours. Time flies, man. When you're bullshitting, Jesus.
Yeah, it's just like hanging out at the bar, man. It's
Yeah, you don't realize how long you've been talking. I know it was. I think it was one. That was like 1:30 my time till I was done on Sunday, or 1:45 or something like that. It's like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it makes for a fun Monday.
Yeah, yeah.
G Web's posted. No one's in it though because he G Web started a lobby over there,
Oh, really?
but he's like, no
He
one's in it though.
he pulled night duty tonight, huh?
I suppose so. I figured that guy would have been tired. He's been going at it for a few hours as it is.
Yeah, he's he's the Energizer
He's a
Bunny of fucking.
machine.
Yeah.
Usually Knives is up late, but he went to bed an hour or so ago.
Huh. Yeah, I get. Man, I swear to God, I think those guys open up chats and then go take a fucking nap.
Yeah, a lot of times I'll jump in on the lobby and it's Knives sitting there and or Smeggy. Knives and Smeggy, and you try to get going with them, and it's just like, okay, they're not active.
Yeah,
They just have an open room.
yeah, yeah. I've had that
Well,
happen too.
that's
If you want to,
Everyone's. Yeah, I sometimes at night, on my way home, I'll jump on. We just, I don't, it doesn't take me long to get home, like 15, 20 minutes, but sometimes I'll jump on and just bullshit a little bit with the guys on the way home. And there's been like one or two times that I've jumped on and been like, hey, what's going on? Hello?
cricket.
Hello? Yeah, yeah. That's just me, I guess.
now, if you want to have some fun sometime, jump in the middle of the night when it's just Smeggy in there. Every once in a while, if you're on the YouTube side and he can't see you, you can
Yeah.
hear him singing to himself, which is kind of fun too.
He doesn't even know you're in there.
No,
He's just all la, da, 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 da,
Yeah,
da,
they
da,
never they never look at the YouTube side on the chats. That's I found that out pretty quick.
well, Knives will sit in there by himself, and every once in a while, go, "Yep."
And then the next morning you'll get a notification, gun lobby chat, 8 hours 1 minute or something.
Yeah.
God, yeah, with just a picture of knives on it.
Yeah, just a turtle.
Yeah.
They're all by himself.
Did you see his avatar the other day? He had a Darth Vader mask on his turtle.
No, I didn't see that.
That was funny.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, it was good.
Well, one of the guys that I watch sometimes on YouTube is After Prison Show, and one of the things he did today, was it this morning or something? It was like the worst tattoos, and he showed this picture of a guy on his entire nose of a tattoo was Donatello, the Ninja Turtle. And
Oh
just
yeah,
as soon as I thought it, I went, "Hey, somebody put a tattoo of knives on his
yeah,
nose."
yeah.
Oh, wait a minute, that's not knives. That's Donatello.
You got a couple people over in the chat. Nodak, Travis is great. Travis is great. Doesn't even matter which one you're talking about. You can talk about any one of us, and we're great. And Mr. The Pants.
Yeah, I'm not sure how long any of them guys are going to stick around with this kind of content. Good gravy.
Well, it's not much different than anything I ever do on a Sunday. Just me bullshitting around.
Yeah, but you got quite the following, though.
Yeah, I've been doing pretty good, man. I was this past week was really good, man. I had fucking Knives showed up and G Web showed up. That was really cool. I was really glad to see those guys. They've I don't think they've been into one of my shows, So it was pretty cool.
No, we have fun in your chats. Well, I mean, we get plumb silly in there. It's
Yeah, that's the whole point, man. That's it's like it's I'm more than happy to be the channel. I mean, Alan's good at this too because he's just lets these things do whatever the hell happens. But I'm more than happy to have a goofy chat. You know what I mean? It's all about having fun. Get a
well,
little bit of information, get a little information out there. Perfect. But let's have a good time.
you got me tagged with this gizzard thing. I get called that by everybody, no matter what chat I go into now.
That Alan's first chat where it was like, infamous now. I mean, Jesus Christ. That was, I think, one of the times that I had said that. I was like, just wait, just give this a day or two, and all this dumb shit will float into other chats.
Yep.
And that's what's really kind of neat about it, is it almost doesn't matter whose chat it is. If something funny happens, you hear about it the next day on somebody else's. It's like that, it's like the water cooler comments. It's funny.
Well, I guess you're one of the gang when you got a nickname. At least I'm not Jonas or something like that.
Yeah, it could be worse.
Well, but Gary, have you been mentioned in an NEA story time yet?
No, I don't believe so. I've been exempted from that so far.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I really didn't have anything on. I didn't have any content at that point.
I'd hate to think of how I'd react the first time I got killed.
Oh yeah.
Tonight was the first time I've been mentioned in a story time.
I missed the story time. Whose was it?
That's one thing that I didn't catch because I jumped in the chat. I jumped out of somebody else's chat, and I jumped into Matt's right when he was starting the story time. And the group essentially came across me somewhere, passed out, dead, or almost dead. I was already like half dead. Basically, they might as well have said that I had pissed myself.
I was just Friday night,
in shambles, couldn't even walk. They had to help me up off the ground and everything. I'm just like, Great. Here's my wonderful entrance into story time, and I'm already
Yeah.
half dead.
Phoenix is writing one. I have his. He sent me his first installment. And it's pretty funny. I hope he sends it to Matt so he can read it. If not, I'm gonna read it on my damn channel. I don't care. That's pretty funny.
I liked it when you read yours.
I like it's funny. I like Matt reading mine better because of the reactions, you know what I mean? And actually being in the chat when somebody reads yours is great. It's really really funny because you get to see everybody's reaction and it chats and he's laughing and shit like that. You know, it's funny.
Of course, as long as I live, I don't think I'll ever forget hearing Clover read Telltale Heart on Halloween. Now,
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
having Larry the
there
Cable
was
Guy.
something just absolutely. That's a creepy story, but to hear it coming out of Clover was just weird.
Yeah.
That shit was fucking creepy, man. It doesn't help that he's sitting there next to a chimenea and he's
Yeah.
got the glow of this tablet coming up on him. I'm just like, man, that's some creepy shit there, Clover. You should have your leprechaun mask on.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It was perfect.
Uh-oh, Rich is here. It's time to go.
Yeah, we got to shut her down now. The 1%'s here.
Us blue collar us blue collar thugs can't possibly entertain somebody such as him.
Yeah, Travis, great man. I wish I had writing ability. I can write music, I can write poems, but I sure the hell can't write stories. And I really wish I actually had it because I've got a great concept for one. Somebody, and it might have been Rich White. Actually, yeah, I think it was you, Rich, that told me that my concept has already been taken, but I've got a different twist on it than I think anybody else has done. The concept is basically you know how Night Strike gets killed like Kenny in every episode of South Park.
Oh yeah.
Well, my concept is and anybody that can write stories is free to take this concept because I am not a story writer. um, my concept is Night Strike is the last man standing at the end of the story, and that I'm the second to last man to die. And the fact is Night Strike strangles me with his beard. Um, one of the main thing is everybody fighting amongst themselves and killing each other off because they all want to kill Night Strike.
That's not bad.
Now, the biggest thing is you have to it's almost funny like when I was writing mine, the last one of the last thing you need to do is like try and think about what to write. You just got to let the dumbest, most ridiculous shit pop into your head, and that's the funniest stuff to write. Just
Well,
work
and
your way
that's
backwards.
I go to write music or something like that. I take a loose concept like that and I work with it from there.
Oh, yeah.
Um, just take a loose concept and work with it. So I other than that, man, I've tried to write basically to get poontang. I've tried to write stories for chicks.
And
Um,
that's kind of like when I was doing mine, it's like, you know, you just start thinking about each individual person. I mean, I'm a big fan of horror movies. I always have been. My wife likes horror movies too, like which is cool. You know, we're always watching them together. And so I've always thought it'd be cool to write one. And when excuse me, when Rock Humper did his, and nobody else had a story time out, I was like, oh shit, okay, you know, let me try. And once you do one, you know, you get hooked. And I was like, oh man, I got to do another one. And you think it's going to be really hard. Like, man, how am I going to come up with it? And I ended up doing like 6 different episodes. It just starts happening, you know, it's really cool. But the biggest thing for me was like, all right, the, what is somebody known for? You know what I mean? And then once you know what they're known for me in a horror movie, it's like, okay, how's the most ridiculous way I could kill somebody with that? You know what I mean? It was like, you know, it wasn't really hard. It was funny. It was fun. It wasn't really as hard as I thought it was going to be. You know?
Well, I mean, just your reply on my buffer being busted. That shit's classic, man.
Yeah. Well, that's how my story time got started. I left a comment under Travis P11's video, and I read it the other night. You can go under. It's that chainsaw fuel he has, that 2-stroke chainsaw fuel he did a review on. I left this dumb little comment about, you know, almost like if as it, I left the comment as if I was a serial killer with a chainsaw, and my chainsaw wouldn't work because it had crappy gas in it. And then I found this shit at Walmart, and now my chainsaw works great, and now I can kill all the campers or whatever, you know. And and at the very end, I was like, "Thanks, Travis P11." Um, and he read it, and he was like, "Oh my God, dude, that's hilarious. You should write a story time." So that's how it got started. It's funny, you know. But that's a funny one. If you want to read something funny, that's a good one. Go to his channel and look up Sef, SEF, Chainsaw Fuel or whatever.
Uh-huh.
There's like a paragraph there of like this crazy little story I wrote. That's how it all got started.
If you ever
It's
went out
fun.
on like Amazon, sometimes they'll have like, they'll ask you to do a product review of about anything, like a
Yeah.
pencil or something like that. And there's these people who will write 2 or 3 paragraph reviews on this pencil saying how it's changed
Yeah.
their life and shit. Like
Yeah.
that stuff's
There's I found this. I'm gonna have to look for it because I found this review by accident one time. I was looking up machetes on fucking Amazon, and this dude did this review, and it was so funny. It was hilarious. I actually took a screenshot of it. I should try and find it. Maybe I'll do that, and then I can email it to you, and you can screenshot it. I used to have it under like my favorites or something because the damn thing was hilarious. I used to read it to people, and they'd laugh their asses off.
Well, the 1%er out there said that I thought about doing a story where the gun channel guys come across the TGC panel, and Max sides with the gun channel guys and slaughters them all.
That's all. And that's the thing. That's all you got to. Okay, there's your premise. Now you just got to figure out like, how's the most ridiculous way I could kill somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what's the most ridiculous way they come across each other? What's the most impractical way that they actually coordinate it and make it happen?
Or ironic, right? Yeah, exactly.
But I can remember a video about a year ago where Mac actually had John Patton, and him and John did a video together, and they were kind of like buds back then. So I wonder, it's probably kind of a lot of friction now.
So 1% is Clover the one that wrote the story time Matt read tonight? Because I didn't catch who wrote that one. You ever see The Cabin in the Woods? No, I never saw The Cabin in the Woods. You guys see
Yeah,
it?
that's a good movie. Cabin in the Woods is the one where the monsters are in the boxes at the end, right?
I never saw it. Nodak asked if we had seen it.
Yeah.
Nope.
Answer me, Nodak, you son of a bitch.
So yeah, Clover is the one that wrote it. No wonder I start off the story half dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
at
damn
least you weren't
leprechaun, I swear I'm going to get him.
at least you weren't half dead with somebody like, banging in the butt or something. Like
As long as they buy me a drink first, maybe.
yeah, yeah, we came upon Alan B. Pro laying in the dirt face down, slobbering on himself as usual with somebody on top of him. Yeah.
That's almost how the stories went.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We came across Alan B. Pro. He was half dead and unconscious, and
See, I'm just a natural writer.
I might as well have had a German Shepherd trying to get it on with me as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
Monsters in the
Nodak said,
Box.
yeah, that was a good one, man. That was a different kind of movie. That was pretty cool. If you like horror movies, check it
So it
out.
wasn't quite like Gremlins where there was monsters in eggs. There was monsters in boxes.
That's right. It had the not the mermaid, but yeah, it had a mermaid. It had all sorts of crazy monsters in it. It was really cool. It was different. It
I'm
wasn't.
gonna have to look that one up.
Yeah, it wasn't like the same old kind of horror movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was kind of digging right before Halloween. Everybody talking about the different horror movies and things.
Yeah, oh, yeah. You forget about them.
Tons and tons of ones that I forgot about.
Yeah.
Don't spoil it for him, Travis. Hmm.
Yeah. Well,
What you have you have something I need to know?
Spill.
Trying to look that goddamn review up.
Nah, hell, I can know the whole story to a movie and still watch the movie and enjoy it.
Yeah, that's how I am
I
too.
don't.
I don't.
The only spoilers that I don't want to hear is about The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And I was gonna get myself caught up tonight, and I went to my pistol range and ran some rounds through the P320 and through my black rifle, and um, just got sidetracked essentially. Didn't go over because I don't actually have TV service. I don't have TV service on purpose because the only thing that I watch on TV is The Walking Dead. So I just have it getting recorded on one of my relatives' DVRs.
That's the easiest way to do it.
Unfortunately, I have to go see my relatives in order to watch it. So I kind of got distracted and decided to not go watch it tonight. By the looks of that, I got pretty distracted. Boy, that's a sad sight. It's almost nothing worse than an empty bottle than an empty magazine.
Yeah.
You seriously have never done Southern Comfort pancakes?
Nah.
Oh man,
It's been a long time
that's
since I
some
had a
ominous
Southern
shit right there.
Comfort in a long time. What is it? SoCo and lime is like the go-to, right? Isn't that's no, I'm thinking Yukon Jack. That's a snake bite.
Yeah.
Snake bites are delicious.
Oh, the movie spoilers can ruin it, Rich says.
Yeah, I don't know. You don't want to tell too much.
Yeah, Nodik says that he's only made it to hear one of the story times. And that's, I mean, the one of the things that was beautiful about it, if I'm incorrect, correct me here, but I believe Rock Humper's the one that started the whole thing.
Yeah.
He sent these stories to Matt, and Matt started to read them, and it's become a thing.
Yeah.
It's become a regular thing now, and he's gotten stories from all kinds of people. He started getting flooded with these different stories.
Yeah, Rock Humper started sending them in just out of nowhere. You know, his sorry, just out of nowhere. And he read one, and then everybody was like, "Oh, you got to do it every week. You got to do it every week." And Rock just pumped out a couple. I forget how many episodes he had, like 5, 6, 7, something like that. Like it was a fair amount.
Yeah, it was like a mini series.
Yeah, and then Rock Humper. He changed jobs or something, changed shifts or something like that. He had something going on in his life where he was just really busy. And Matt had said, "Oh, if anybody wants to send any, send them in," because Rock Humper couldn't do it. And mine was the next one that they did, I think, where I just randomly sent in.
Yeah, I think you were.
Yeah.
I think you were, because it was like nobody wanted to follow Rock Humper.
Yeah, everybody. I think that's kind of what happened, was that nobody wanted to follow it because his was so popular, and they didn't want to like step on his toes. You know what I mean? They didn't want to feel like they were riding his coattails, I think, too, a little bit. And I had said something that I had emailed Matt, and I said, "Hey, if I do one, would you read it?" And I said something to Rocker, but I was like, "Hey, I'm thinking about doing one." He's like, "Yeah, do it. Go ahead, go ahead." And so I did, and I did one, and the guys really like it. The guys really liked it. So I was lucky. I mean, as busy as I am, I was worried about being able to get it done. And I think I did episode like 2, and then we went on vacation, and I did the rest of them like in the span of a couple of days, and then just sent them to him over the next couple of weeks. So it was tough because I had it done, and we were only on like number 3. It was bugging the hell out of me. I wanted to send them to him and have him, you know what I mean, have him read them all at once, but you know. So I think I had 6 in mind.
Well, and there's been a couple epic fails along the way.
Yeah, there's been a couple that people. I mean, it's hard because I don't know, man. I don't want to sound like I think I'm the shit or anything, but like I'm a fairly good writer. I can write, as long as I'm writing about something that I feel passionate about or whatever. You know what I mean? I can really convey a good message. So for me, it was like once I got rolling on it, it was funny. It was easy. So, but there's some people that, yeah, there's been a couple where it's hard to read because sometimes people write as if they don't. You got to remember that when you're writing, somebody else is going to be reading it. So you have to take that into account. You can't necessarily use your own mannerisms and stuff like that, because if they don't read it the same way, then it doesn't make any sense.
Well, we know what Midnight Range does for a living. I am a retail manager. What do you do for a living, Gary? You retired from crafting wheels out of stone, or
I, believe it or not, am an IT support guy at a nuclear power plant.
doesn't surprise me.
That's what I've done since 2001. I spent 21 years working in records as just a paper shuffler, clerk. Used microfilm records and file stuff in our vault and stuff like that. finally got a chance to join the IT department in 2001, and they put me at the help desk, and that's pretty much became a career, just answering people's phone calls out at work and helping them through computer issues.
Well, that's good. You're a go-to guy then. I've always been kind of a go-to guy in every job that I've ever gone to. So that's a good thing. It's a good thing. It creates job security when you're the go-to guy.
I never had the benefit of going to school for that because when I was a young feller, we didn't have computers to study. So I kind of picked it up. When I was in the records department, I was kind of the guru of that department as far as I knew more about the computers than the rest of them. And then when I got into IT, I just kind of picked it up there. So I'm mostly self-taught. I don't have any formal training. But there's only 3 of us, and we support about, a little over 1,000 people.
Oh, wow. Wow. Well, welcome, Mr. Rich.
We got new blood on the panel.
Oh, hopefully bring some damn class up into this joint.
Wouldn't take much.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
well, that's good because it's only
you
Rich.
guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Alrighty, well, that's what I'm asking. You don't have to worry about this super stereo microphone on my Alienware. For some reason, that just seems to bother.
Yeah, doing more of these live streams and stuff. I've actually been looking into a little bit more live
the hell out of you, Alan.
I've been looking into some more live gear.
That's just a laptop.
The what?
This microphone on my other computer. That's just my laptop's built-in microphone. It's just you get a good laptop. I guess that's what you got to put up with, having too good of a microphone.
Well, that's all I've got. That's all I'm running is my laptop mic.
Yeah, Alan, your mic sounds really good though. A lot of people's don't. Yours is nice and clear.
Well, and I've got my laptop HDMI to my TV, but if I turn my TV up too loud, I create my own echo.
Yeah.
Plus, I keep large portions of my house without furniture because I do a lot of dry fire training and I move around a lot. I'm not a small dude. You can understand mid-range.
So you use your place as a use it as a clearinghouse for training purposes. You're clearing out the house.
Yeah, I had a girlfriend when I first moved into this place, and she's like, "Oh, you need to hang some things on the wall." I said, "Oh yeah, I'll get right on that." So I started hanging targets everywhere, and she's like, "These aren't pictures. What are you doing?" I'm like, "This is the kind of shit that I hang on my walls." What? And go sit at the dining room, and I'll show you. Just don't move.
You need to start doing house clearing drills with a Nerf gun. Shoot at the wall there, cut around corners and whatnot.
Oh yeah, I feel really, really, really sorry for the fool that decides to break up into this place. I've cleared this place probably 3,000 or 4,000 times, and I know where all my targets are at. I know where all my corners are at. Everything else, I'd feel really sorry for anybody that tried to break into here.
Probably do it better than any training Jaeger would give you.
who is it that is it Dano that's saying, anybody who wants to know about tactical response, message me out, and I'll tell you whatever you want to know.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah,
That's him talking about it.
I think,
Yeah, he's got some
well, I thought it was
something for
really
people
funny
to
that
fill
when I
out
got
on
up today, Jaeger had a video out saying whatever happens at tactical response stays at tactical response, and you're not supposed to say anything about what happens here, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, really? Well, that's kind of funny because there's somebody over on Gun Channels that's more than happy to say anything that's happened over there, and he's one of your alumni.
Let's see, what does he think he is? Fight Club?
Shouldn't he say that anything that happens in tactical response to the I released the video? Because you go on his channel, that's all it is. Sorry to cut you off, Gary. That wasn't.
That's all right.
Yeah, what does he think? Freaking Fight Club? I mean, yeah. Well, he doesn't want to release his trade secrets, but if you watch all his videos, you pretty much learned everything he's going to teach you anyway.
Yeah, 1911 sucked. Striker fired gun.
He'll teach you how great an Aria is.
He'll teach you how to draw and you'll stop. Which I'm not gonna lie. I practice tape loops. I say that. Well, I don't say stop. I often say something that I know that I'm gonna say anyway, which is squeal like a girl. No, I'm just kidding.
Squeal like
that's my purse. I don't know you.
Oh yeah, no, that would be hilarious. Puts in the YouTube side. I'd love to see Yankee take a tactical response class in tactical gear just to troll Jaeger.
Did you ever see Yankee's tactical butterscotch video?
Yes.
Or carry condition butterscotch.
Yes.
That's one of the first videos that I saw Yankees. That one is one of the ones that got me hooked. That and some of the Gary shit, like the Christmas ones, the Christmas videos, they're fucking funny as hell.
Yeah, I started slowing down watching Yankee because he wasn't ever doing anything funny anymore.
He also had the one where Yankee started feeding Gary peanut butter.
Yeah.
Just feeding Gary peanut butter.
Yeah. Well, that's what so many people are like. I don't get it. Why is he? What is he doing? He's like, he's trying to feed him peanut butter, and he won't eat it because he doesn't like it. And they're like, why is that funny? I'm like, because everybody says Glocks will eat anything, and he won't eat the peanut butter, and that's supposed to be funny.
Well,
and I think it's funny because I get
the fact that it was peanut butter and Gary wanted crunchy.
I thought it was because he didn't want to eat it at all. I don't know. Well, maybe that's why. But either way, I mean, he didn't want to eat it, and that was part of it, I guess. And
I thought it was crunchy.
That might have been it. Yeah, maybe that was it. I don't know. I kind of get irritated a little bit at people that are coming on and some people will do it on Matt's show. They'll do it on everybody's show, and they bitch about what they're talking about on their shows. And I understand, like, sometimes as somebody that's watching, you want to turn the subject back to like guns or whatever. But lately it's just been like there's been people like in the chats just bitching about like what they're talking about. It's like, yo, they can talk about whatever the hell they want to,
Yeah,
if you don't like what they're talking about, then don't watch their stuff.
Yeah.
Bullseye was doing that tonight on Clover's show.
Oh, really? I didn't notice. Yeah, I mean, I think it's totally legitimate to be
Yeah, I
like,
called him to task on him. I guess he left after that.
I think it's a legit thing to say. Like, sometimes you get rambling on, and it's cool to kind of tactfully try and guide people back onto target a little bit, to say. But sometimes it's like, yeah, this is what we want to talk about right now. We're going to talk about it. And especially when you get like a panel going and they're talking amongst themselves. I mean, it's easier on a chat like mine where it's like everybody that chimes in can get noticed. That's what's kind of fun about the small chats. The big ones, it's like, you get like some of the Yankees chats where it's like 800 or 900 people. He doesn't give a shit what's going on in the chat.
Well, he couldn't possibly keep up with it if he wanted to. It goes
Yeah.
by fast.
Well, yeah, and that's why I mean, if you really want
I
to get
can't keep up what's
noticed
going on.
in a large chat like that, you have to drop a super chat, and
Yeah.
even at that, sometimes it doesn't get noticed, and you have to be like, "Hey, you missed my super chat! You missed my super chat!" like 500 times, and eventually he'll be able to catch it. But
Yeah.
it's going so fast, and there's just so much going on. There's no way anybody would be able to keep up with that.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
even in
I'm
Cat's Clover size, he missed one when I won the lock plug for the grip. I told him pick somebody else because I don't have a Glock, and
right.
Scotsman will back me up on this because he tried. The chat was moving so fast he didn't see that,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
I was
his
there.
chat's nowhere near as big as Yankees.
Yeah. Hey, I'm good to go as long as Phoenix doesn't show up. I fucking hate that guy. God, that dude's so fucking annoying. That guy is such a, oh my God, he drives me fucking crazy. Jesus.
The banter between the two of you when you're both modded is hilarious.
Oh, I just can't. You know what? I hope I never. I don't want. There's only one person that I wouldn't mind if they dropped me. If one of my subs dropped, and it was him. Can't fucking stand that guy.
I'd like to take this moment to bitch about food chat.
Did anybody realize that Phoenix just he showed up in the chat, and that's why I said that? I hope he's not mad at me.
Yes, I'm mad at you.
I think that's the only reason why he did. No, actually, I don't think it is. Hopefully, he missed it all while he was loading up.
Trying to load up.
Oh no, I was in on the computer.
Alan's drinking his Dr. Pecker again.
Yeah, it's one of the best things to drink when you done run out of SoCo. Actually, I'm not drinking it. I'm advertising it.
Yeah, that's right.
This chat sponsored by Dr. Pepper.
You shill.
You want that big old Dr. Pepper money?
Yeah, if they sponsored me.
You got to drink it like, yeah. I think you got to move your hand up a little bit and really make it like an aggressive drink. I always thought that was funny on the soda commercials. Well, Rich, you would say pop probably because you're from Pittsburgh. You say pop, but and they this ice cold soda and they
Get
just
the whole
jam it
pinky
down.
going on.
No,
It's just like jam it down.
Before you get the drink.
Yeah, I asked earlier if anybody else would bring me any more SoCo, and nobody did. So I've been demoted to Dr. Pepper.
Could be worse. Could be Mr. Pibb.
Or Dr. Thunder.
Dr. Thunder. That sounds like your wife's gynecologist.
That's Wally World.
Yeah.
Dr. Thunder used to be my stage name.
Dr. Thunder.
Yep.
Midnight's was 9mm.
That's it. Nothing wrong with that.
That's
Could be worse.
not what
Could be
she
8.
said.
Could be 8mm. What I said, the one Alan's, I think Alan's first chat, we came up with, I came up with something like that. They were talking about it, and I was like, hey, it might not be good, but at least it's quick.
That is what she said.
That's probably about right. Yeah, yeah, something like that.
One of Midnight's famous opening lines, baby, I can ruin your life in 5 seconds.
Ouch.
Alan kicks open the ladies' room door at the bar. Hey, you wanna go slumming? You know what? When Gil was on here and he had that echo, it reminded me of a joke. It reminded me of a joke, and I'm trying to remember it. It was oh yeah, woman goes to the gynecologist and gets up on the table and puts her feet in the stirrups, and the doctor goes down, to check everything out, and he lifts up the sheet and he goes, "Holy shit, what a hole! Holy shit, what a hole!" She said, "Why did you say it twice?" She says, "Why did you say it twice?" He said, "I didn't. That was an echo."
Yeah, it's like throwing a hot dog into the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, you ever watch Robot Chicken?
The hell's an aluminum falcon?
Yeah, there's one where it's like one of their really, really short skits where it's just like 4 or 5 seconds, and it's this girl, and a girl is in the apartment, and the boyfriend is in the hallway, and they're having this argument, and she pulls out a hot dog and she throws it down the hallway, and she says, "Do you get it?" And he said, "Yeah, this fucking hallway's huge." That's a great show, man. Especially if you have ADD, because they'll do like 5-second clips and then move on to something else.
Shiny.
Yeah, like a butterfly goes by. Oh, butterfly.
Dear God, it's coming down.
Is this going to be one of those chats where everybody's in the chat and nobody's in the room?
I'm not sure if it is already, other than Nodak.
Yeah.
Didn't start out that way, but it's turning out that way.
Nodak's out there talking to himself.
Well, I was in the room, and then somebody threw out a link. It's like, God damn it! So I had to go to the other computer.
That's okay. I've talked to myself in chats before.
Yes, we know this. And sometimes
every time you join a chat with Knives in the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah, he's taking a little turtle nap.
He's turtling.
Nodak is so lonely.
I think I'm alone now.
Maggie go.
Nodak's got his own yank shack over there.
We're in the lobby
lonely
chat,
in here.
and he's like, I'm gonna go get lunch. 5 hours go by. Maggie takes the longest lunch breaks I've ever seen in my.
Midnight? Why is that fish farting?
Because he ate too many tacos.
But it's not Taco Tuesday.
Doesn't matter.
Yes, it does. You can only have tacos on Tuesdays.
Oh, fish tacos.
I was wondering how we ever came up with fish tacos. Now I know.
Yeah. Storytime content.
Oh, Travis, great. You don't have to record it for blackmail purposes. YouTube is doing that for us.
Yeah, but see, that's not entirely true because you can take it down after the fact, which Ghost is not smart enough to do.
Look, here's.
Did he get knocked for a live chat or something?
No. He was.
There's Smeggy.
He was bouncing off the walls one night, and I did one of the Navy jokes, and he started singing "In the Navy." I then downloaded the video and turned it into a GIF file.
Yes, I saw that.
That's what happens when you let this content stay on YouTube. It can and will be used against you.
It can and will be used against you.
Just like anything said in any of these ever. All it takes is one time.
Oh yeah, the wanky thing really got around when people started watching the first video of this.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. Bob started that, and I've been trying to get that thing to stick for months. I just keep every time I say something, it's wanky.
Well, I'll tell you what, too. Whatever night we were on your chat, the next night was the same shit.
Mods are wanky for crying out.
We were on a lobby chat the next night that got completely off the rails and out of hand too. It was just totally ridiculous.
Wait a minute. Great. Midnight was in a chat and it went off the rails.
What can I say, man? I'm inspirational to improv.
I got onto one of Midnight's chats a couple weeks ago, and I was about 10 minutes late getting on there. And when I come in, he said hi to me, and he said, "Oh, we were just talking about you earlier." And and I thought, well, I wonder what he said. So the next day, I went back and watched the first 10 minutes of it so I could see what he said. Talking about my bathroom habits. Wow, dude.
Always talking about gizzards.
Yeah, you never know.
Just remember that they can go back and watch.
That's right. Yeah, I try not to do or say anything that anybody would actually be offended by. You know.
Oh, no
It's
wonder
all
your live
good.
chats aren't worth watching.
They're not. I mean, maybe one of these nights I'll really cut loose. I'll have a couple of drinks and really let her rip. Couple of bourbon and cokes. I'm pretty much uncontrollable.
Those couch cushions will never be the same again.
That's right. Why does our couch smell like bourbon farts? You see my little gay Smeggy in the chat there?
Oh, how cute.
Right.
But I'm not quite sure if you actually needed to add the rainbow for that effect to be true.
Yeah, maybe not.
Oh, and when Smeggy popped in on that first chat, that we all thought he was cussing us all out. He's like, no, about to get in
At the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
Is that when he almost got arrested or was being followed by the cops?
No, this was before that. This is when he said he was defending some girls at the bar and he was about to get his ass kicked by two guys. We're all like, Smeggy, you know we can't back you up. We're just on your phone, right?
Oh.
Yeah, he was on one that night. I mean, these guys were coming on to these chicks at the bar, and the chicks didn't want anything at all to do with them. I highly doubt that. They were probably trying to milk the guys for drinks. But anyway, yeah, he's like trying to defend these chicks, and then he's on his way home, and he's like, this cop is going to turn around on me. I'm just like, dude, you're going to get arrested in a live chat. This is great.
That would be another one of the first for gun channels. First to be arrested on air.
Hey, I got to get out of here, guys. I'll see you guys later.
Night, man.
See you guys. Take it easy.
Yeah,
Good night.
see you, man.
See you guys.
I think I might head out too. I'm having trouble keeping my eyes open.
All righty, Gary. Thanks for jumping in, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been doing this this whole live stream thing for all that long, but in between the normal circle on YouTube and the gun channels, it's just It's been great, man. It's been great getting to know everybody in these circles here.
It's all the inside and ongoing jokes that make it so fucking hilarious. I mean, the content can be complete shit, and the jokes and the stuff going on in chat will actually make it worth watching.
Well, and there's so much bleed over from one to the next to the next, and if you're new to it, you're just like, what the hell are these guys really laughing? That doesn't make any sense. What are these guys laughing about? And it's like watching a soap opera.
Uh-huh.
Like we were saying the other night, it was like watching a soap opera, and it was like As the Revolver Turns, or coming up with all kinds of different soap opera names for it.
Oh shit. Almost like when I first started, I don't know, I caught a Yankee video. And then I saw the trailer with all the weird shit like him in a bra and all this other stuff, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I had to dig through these other videos to piece together what the hell's happening. And that led me to the other guys on gun channels, but I didn't know about gun channels. So without gun channels, you don't know that there's a set schedule to piece all this together. So you have to hunt through YouTube and find all the pieces parts. It's like a big Lego set.
Yeah. I found out about gun channels actually watching one of Mac's videos. Somebody linked one of Matt's videos, so I went over and started watching his videos, and then caught one of his live chats for the first time, and then that just snowballed from there.
You just had to find a way to get into it, didn't you?
Huh?
Nothing. The snowball thing.
Yeah, I guess another Smiggy reference.
It's all fun and games until someone breaks out the snowman.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much how I stumbled on it all was through Wanky, watching his stuff and him mentioning gun channels, and I'd come over and I tried to sign up for a little while, and for some reason the system wouldn't let me create a user, and I started getting in and watching Matt's stuff all the time, and I was like, all right, well, I'll go in and try to sign up again for gun channels, and it wouldn't let me, and eventually I started like seeing more and more of Clover in both of their chats.
Uh-huh.
And Clover sent me over. He's like, hey, you got to join Gun Channel. I'm like, all right, well, I'll try it again and see if it'll work. And it finally took.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's like I had the biggest problem. I went to Gun Channels and it signed up all right. But the website depends on using Adobe Flash, which is automatically shut off by default on all browsers nowadays. So I could talk in the chats, but it never updated unless I refresh the whole damn screen. And it's like tonight, G-Webs was bitching about why he used Facebook. It's like, probably because he wanted it to work.
I avoid Facebook as much as I possibly can anymore. I don't care for Facebook anymore.
Me too, but Gun Channels is great when it actually works. For me, just to open Gun Channels, it's between 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes just for the Gun Channels to load.
Well, yeah, me as well. It takes a while for it to load. If I'm doing anything else, it takes forever and a day.
Right, and it's like I love the idea of having this place for all the gun stuff, and I love the idea of trying to invite people to Gun Channels to come hang out and stuff. But it's like we can't invite people when the system can't handle the people it's got now.
That's damn Skippy, damn straight.
I can't have YouTube and Gun Channels open half the time, because if I have Gun Channels open, for some reason it lags the hell out of YouTube.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, it depends. On my main computer, I can do that. But on the computer that I use most of the time, which is hooked up to the TV, yeah, if you got gun channels open, it lags out YouTube to death.
Yeah, the only way I do it is from my main laptop here. I've never actually experienced that problem, but if I'm gonna be doing anything live, I got to make sure that I have those windows open ahead of time. If I'm trying to upload something, I can't. I don't even bother trying to log into gun channels
Yeah.
because it just won't do it.
And it's like the mic here is hooked up to my main tower, which is my gaming tower. You know, $800 video card and all the goodies and SSDs and shit. And the other one's hooked up to the TV, and I just use that for watching.
What video card do you got?
It's a 1080 FTW edition.
Does that come with the extra hamsters on the
My
wheels?
Alienware laptop has a 1070.
Well, it's got two big ass fans. I'm guessing one hamster per fan.
God dang, Midnight Range just like plastered every food emoji in the side chat.
Wouldn't be midnight otherwise. I mean, we actually have a saying in the house now because midnight, when it just pops out of nowhere, makes no rhyme or reason, it's because midnight.
Yeah, it's pretty funny that if he just comes in the room, everybody starts turning it into a side chat, and his ass gets blamed.
Mm-hmm.
He deserves it.
Oh,
It's all his fault.
Way back when I started, you know, every time midnight appeared, I would say something about it being his fault for food chat, and that just snowballed. You know, a week later, 2 or 3 other people were doing it.
Well, he's the chef, so when he shows up, people can say food.
But that's just it. Usually when he's there, we don't talk about food. So the best time to talk about food is when the panel is full.
Yeah, but he doesn't need to know
locked in
that.
that little chat room. You can just see his head turning red and getting ready to explode. Like straight out Looney Tunes, man.
You curly, is that what you're saying?
Damn it. Fucking cough. But the thing is, no matter how boring the content gets, if Midnight's in there, it will be entertaining, goddammit.
Yeah, some guys can actually just talk about nothing at all for an extended period of time, and you'll sit there and listen to it.
Yeah, because it's fucking amusing. Or because
What
it's
are we
like a
doing
train
now?
wreck and you never know what's going to happen next.
I said this before, and I'll say it again. Your chats, Alan, are like the Seinfeld of gun channels and YouTube.
Everything and anything gets brought up in mine. Everything from tree people to
Tactical lizard people.
No, the Tactical Lizard people was Clover's one of his lawn chair chats because there were a couple of lizards running around his table.
Yeah, and I've been doing hashtag tactical lizard people matters ever since.
oh yeah, Clover and his taste like baby angels. I haven't been able to get over that one yet.
Fuck, I'm gonna die.
Tastes like you eat baby angels. I'm like, yeah, I remember what that was like. I had sex as a teenager.
Yeah,
And when in doubt, just give Clover hell about his accent. Earl.
I was just gonna. How many of those little carob statues has Clover eaten that taste like?
I don't know. But that's one of the things that's cool about free for alls, at least. Some of the chats that are so regimented, it's just like, wow, there's this completely interesting conversation going on in the side chat that would be great to get integrated in the panel. But like he was saying earlier, the panel's going to talk about whatever they're going to talk about. The side chat's going to have something completely different going on. The chat on the gun channel side's got something completely different going on, and every now and then they'll cross strands.
Don't cross the streams.
You mean like how earlier Matt was doing shit, it's a fan story time, and in the side chat they were talking about pedophiles?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, I did not know that was Clover's story time going on there.
Oh, it was? I'm going to have to try backing it up and watching it.
I think he starts it like at about an hour in.
Yeah, I just caught like the last half hour of it.
Yeah, because I jumped in the room right before he started story time. I didn't even get to see hear who it was, but Rich said that it was Clover's.
Yeah, I said about, damn it, I don't get it. I never get into any of the stories, and I never get it right. And his reply was, "Oh, it's far from over." And I was like, "That's kind of ominous, Clover." The way he said it, I was like, "Oh, am I to be scared by this?"
And almost everything in one of those shit hit the fan story times is a compilation of jokes from previous chats, and then once they hit this story, they take on a life of their own and just continue through everywhere.
Yeah, it's really bitching the way it has become its own entity. Like you take little tidbits of all these like 12, 15 different chats that have all filtered through each other. It gets put into a story time, and then it creates more that gets filtered into more.
Uh-huh.
It's like a big giant hive.
Well, that's like when I started writing mine. Mine's more of a Cannonball Run kind of story. I just took all the greatest hits and smushed them in there.
Yeah, I wish I could write.
Somehow I'm with a problem with the communication out of my internet. Somehow my internet's going to be the problem.
Well, it's better than SUCY mag.
Yeah, Travis Great says
so
that his wife listens to the
strike,
Monday Night Geeks chats and laughs her ass off. I got to do the same too, because I mean, here I'm thinking these guys are cool, and then I listen to that shit. I'm like, oh my god, you guys are dorks.
An hour and a half over fried foods.
And the donuts are still trickling through.
Never enough.
When did he do donuts? Like 2 months ago?
Matt's hatred of sprinkles and coconut has to be a YouTube legend at this point.
And don't forget the raisins.
Yeah, the sprinkles, the cardboard shavings, and the raisins.
Oh yeah.
He was so triggered over that shit. Just going off.
Oh my god. Anytime somebody brings it up, he gets super triggered.
One of the ones that happened sort of recently.
The candy bar episode when everybody kept saying Zagnut, the expression on his face.
Oh yeah, Travis, great. I mean, that's absolutely right. G-Web's doing his sprinkles video. That shit was hilarious. If you didn't know anything at all about it, you'd be like, what the hell is this? G-Webs is doing a sprinkles video? What the hell? What is this all about?
Yeah.
I wonder if they demonetize that one too.
The best thing recently from G-Webs has to be his top 5 vampire movies.
Wait a minute. Here we go. I've got this somewhere. There it is.
Hell yeah.
Clover Tech Shows.
Yeah, the damn cereals. Oh my god.
That was close to Travis there.
God.
And did you guys hear that apparently
This was a
oh man, what was it? There was this thing about a cereal that was racist. It was like Pops Krispies were racist or something. Because on the back of the box there was this big old like scene at a mall, and all the Pops are walking around, and then there was this one slightly more toasted Pops, and he was the janitor.
Oh God. Oh yes, his top 5
and everything racist taste. A freaking jar of cotton ball. Racist.
Yeah, the top 5 lesbian vampire movies. That was kind of just a serving suggestion to me.
Well, now every time comes to G-Webs, it's top 5 lesbian whatever. It's like top 5 lesbian.
If you got Amazon Prime, just about every one of those movies G listed's on there.
He pulled the list straight from Amazon Prime.
One of these days, I'm going to screw around with Photoshop and attach Space Ghost's head to Ghost Tactical's badge.
That would be pretty damn funny.
I used to be really good at photo editing, but we're talking way back when. I used Paint Shop Pro. And that was before, Adobe took over with Photoshop. And it's like, I fired up the latest copy of Photoshop. It's like, I don't know how to use this shit.
Oh, hell, the latest edition of Photoshop's not even like the old version of Photoshop. I used to use the old version of Photoshop all the time. And my kid has to use it for school, and I was like, what the hell is this shit?
Uh-huh. Well, it's like, and most of the shit I want to do, I can do with like Snagit Editor, which is a stupid little program you use for taking screenshots.
What was the sister program for Photoshop? Illustrator? Was that the one where you would do like the animated GIFs in?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was it. Illustrator.
Yeah, I mean that they don't even. That's not even a thing anymore. I don't think because it doesn't come.
Well, now they try to patch everything into online. It's like, dude, if I wanted an online connection, I wouldn't be using your software in the first place. It's like half the shit you want to do. If you have access to the browser, you can do it there.
Oh yeah, because it's more lucrative to get subscriptions than anything else.
Uh-huh.
And people forget how to turn off the subscriptions and keep getting charged.
Yep. Well, it's just like Windows. Windows has started up this stupid app store for Windows, and they're slowly trying to make it so you can't install the old programs. It's like, oh no, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I had a fatal
Sony
crash on my machine. Ended up having to because I was just using Windows Movie Maker to edit my shit, and I ended up having to reload Windows. And well, you know, if you're going to end up having to reload, might as well put 10 on it. Well, can't put Windows Movie Maker on it. I'm like, what? I'm like, no, I'm going to make this freaking happen. And I made it happen, but it took a little bit.
Yeah, what I was going to say was PlayStation. They swore for years they were never going to go the pay for online play like they do with like so Microsoft did with the Xbox, and along comes PlayStation for the online play now. And that was after at the premiere thing for the PlayStation 4, Sony was still saying then that they weren't ever going to charge for it.
I don't see that how they can charge for it. All it ever does is run fucking updates. Oh, look, you bought this brand new game. Please wait half an hour while we install this 20 gig update. Are you fucking kidding me? The goddamn disc doesn't hold 20 gigs.
Yeah, it's like you go and buy the disc, and all it is the install.
5 days for it to update. Yeah. And then once the game updates, it has to update again because they just released some damn downloadable content.
Which usually breaks it, and then you have to go get the pirated edition if you actually want something that works.
Well, the only game I've really been playing lately is one of the WWE games, and they've been pretty good about having their stuff not actually break the game. When they actually fix something, they're actually fixing something, unlike most other games.
That makes me miss the days back when, you know, we had floppy disks. Because if that game wasn't complete when it shipped, they pretty much lost all their fucking money because they had to send out discs to everybody that bought it. Nowadays, they just half-ass put something together and they send it out. It's like, oh, we'll patch it later.
Yeah, they use the consumer as the test market to find all the flaws in the games.
Uh-huh. 8 years of software quality assurance right here, man. Trust me, I know.
And one that just happened recently, I've been playing DC Universe Online with my oldest daughter because she wanted me to play that. They have a test server where they're supposed to make sure everything's working. They upload a new content and it doesn't work. There's supposed to be guys that you're supposed to kill to complete this quest. They only had 20 of them spawning a day, and that was early hours of the morning. The clock, when it started up, when everything reset, you weren't getting the guys you needed to kill. Like, gee, thanks a lot.
Oh man, that shit drives me nuts. Because every time I see something broke like this,
Between the test server and going live, they completely and totally screwed the pooch on it. Somehow between going from the test server to the live server, it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, you just had it working on the test.
There are certain variables which will change between the test server and the real
Is it
server.
that hard to make sure you got the code copied proper? And it's like, copied the code over. This is what the head programmer and developer said in the forums. Somebody changed the number. Just copying the. Why in the hell are you changing numbers?
Well, here's the problem with that. In most commercial environments, you know, you've got each developer writing in his own piece of code. He's going to check that software in through software, and somebody has to publish it. So that means 2-3 people's eyes were on that piece of code in the process. So it wasn't just one fuck up, it was 3 or more fuck ups.
Huh. That makes sense.
Which genius was it that decided they had to change the number? That should never have been changed in the first place.
Some of those numbers
what
will
the
change
hell
between
are
past
people
and
doing?
production. Because, like, say your test server, you've only got enough people running around on it to, you know, go kill those guys 20 times, say. So if you move that over into an actual production server that's overloaded with a bunch of people, yeah, you can get those lag times in there, but it's not like that. What the hell are you doing? Leave my foot alone. Crazy cat.
My bedroom door gets closed to keep the cats out. Like, no.
Yeah, this one will open it no matter what.
Nothing worse than trying to sleep and get woke a cat inside.
Well, as a kid, my parents picked up this stray cat, and she was this old, blind, toothless cat. But she knew where we kept the cat food underneath the kitchen sink in the cabinet. And so all night long, that cat would paw at the door, and she'd pull it open just a little bit, just enough to make it go, eh. And then she'd drop it out of her paw, and it'd go, dum, dum, dum. So like all night long, eh, dum, 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 eh, dum, 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 dum.
Sounds about right.
I'm like 9 years old going, I want to kill this cat.
We had this one cat. If we had the inside door open, he figured out how to hit the latch on the screen door, and he would let himself out. He would jump up, hold on with one the little lever that activates it where the door swings open. He'd walk out the door, turn around, push the door back closed, and then go along his merry way.
My dad picked up this cat at his work one time, and he was this big, giant black cat, all black. And for some oddball reason, my dad was the only person that could get near this cat. And my dad did not like cats. And so I'm in the backyard cleaning the pool one day, and I'm looking up over at this cat sitting on the top of the fence. And the neighbor's dog was sticking his nose through the fence. We had a slat in the fence missing. And the cat's just looking down, watching this dog stick his nose through the fence. And he reaches down with one paw and grabs a hold of his nose, and the dog starts pulling on it. The cat's just holding him there, reaches down with the other paw and starts ripping the shit out of this dog's nose. The whole time the dog's fighting, pulling. He stops and he looks at it, grabs a hold of this side of his nose and starts ripping the shit out of the other side of his nose. I'm just like busting up freaking laughing, right? He stops, looks at it, lets it go, and just sits back down like nothing happened.
That's a fucking cat for you.
That was one badass cat, though, I tell you. That cat would chase dogs off our lawn. He was one fearless son of a bitch. Well, looks like he dropped. I think I'm going to end up shutting her down here, guys. Pretty much ain't got anything going on.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later, man.
Yeah, thanks for jumping in. Have yourselves a great one.